Hello, we miss you. Hopefully you're able to get back to school soon enough. This is for those who are absent September 15th. First thing that I would ask you to do is go ahead and hit pause to go through the self-start, and then we'll check your work here in a moment. So go ahead and hit pause now to see what you remember. Okay, so to check your work for today's self-start, I'm going to use red. Which vocabulary word means you can pair a positive and a negative together to make zero? The key word here is zero. So the vocabulary word that we're looking for is, I know it's kind of sloppy, but I'm using a mouse. So the vocabulary word is zero pairs. So a zero pair means you can take a positive, pair it with a negative, and they basically just cancel each other out to make zero. So create a model to show that you earned $9 and spent $4. So hopefully your model looks something like this, where you have 9 positives, because when you earn money, that's a good thing. 7, 8, 9. Spent $4. Whoa, that one's really bad, but that's okay. So there's your model right there. How many zero pairs were created? Well, how many times can I take a positive and a negative and put them together? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how many zero pairs were created? 4. What's left over? Looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives left over. There you go. So if you want to read that, you're welcome to hit pause and read it. Some information, once again, if you want to go through the classroom information, just pause it and go through it. For today, we've already done the self-start. We just did a quick review for zero pairs, and we're actually moving to adding integers using number lines today. So when we're given an addition problem that looks like this, and told to use a number line to model it, this is kind of what we mean by it. If you don't have a number line with you, go ahead and just draw one that looks like this, that goes from -10 to a +10, just on a separate piece of paper. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll go ahead and hit pause and draw a number line. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at that -5. So what that means is that we have to start at 0 when we first start off. So we're going to go 5 in the negative direction. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now when I'm adding 4, it looks like it's a +4. So that means I'm going to go in the positive direction from where I left off. So don't go back to 0. So from where I left off, which is the -5, we're going to go 4 in the positive direction. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So we ended up at a -1. So to show your work for this kind of problem, notice how I jumped each number and jumped each number. That's what's kind of required for this unit. So my answer for this math problem would be a -1, because that's where I ended up. Okay, so again, we're going to go ahead, I'll just do the first one, or next one, to kind of practice with you. So 10 plus the -2, so that means I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go 10 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to go 2 in the negative direction. Remember, don't go back to 0 and go that way. From where you left off is where you're going to start from now. So -2. So I'm going to go 2 in the negative. 1, 2. And it looks like I ended up at a +8 for this problem. Now, what's interesting about this kind of problem is when you're adding negatives, you can think back to subtraction problems as well, because that's essentially what happened is we just took 10 minus and took away 2 jumps. So there you go. So we ended up at a +8. So now for this one, You'll notice there are no negatives, so go ahead and hit pause and do this one now. Okay, so if I were to go, I would go 3 in the positive, 1, 2, 3, and then I would go 6 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I ended up at a positive 9. Okay, next problem. Again, go ahead and hit pause. Go ahead and draw your number line. See if you can do this one on your own next. Okay, let's check your work. So -5 plus a -4. So I'm going to start at 0, go 5 in the negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go 4 in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I ended up at a -9 on this problem. Don't forget your negative sign. Okay. Again, go ahead and hit pause, draw your number line, and see if you can do this one. Okay, check your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the positive direction, 3 in the negative. 1, 2, 3. So for this problem, I ended up at a positive 4. Now something like this is a little bit more complex, so I want you to go ahead and hit pause and see if you can figure this one out on your own, and then we'll check your work. Okay, so check your work with mine. So I'm going to start off at a negative 0 and go towards 2 in the negative direction. 1, 2. Next thing is I'm going to go 7 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to go 2 in the negative direction again from where I just left off. 1, 2. So it looks like I ended up at a positive 3. So try this challenge question on your own. Go ahead and hit pause and check your work with mine in a moment. Okay, check your work. So I'm going to start at 0 and go 1 in the negative. There's 1. I'm going to go 2 in the negative direction now. 1, 2. I'm going to go 2 more in the negative direction. 1, 2. And then I'm going to go 10 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it looks like on this problem I ended up at a positive 5. So later on we'll start moving to some real life aka story problems. You're welcome to try this one to kind of see where you end up, kind of get an idea of where we're going, probably next week. But there you go. The one thing I will say is this. If you're not quite sure, if you got your answer right, you got your number line right, you could always model with integer tiles just to check your work. So in this case, I would have 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we learned yesterday, we can count our 0 pairs. 1, and then kind of see what we end up with. And it looks like I have 1 negative, which is the same answer that I got on my number line. So use this method to kind of double check your work. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Talk to you later. Again, we miss you. Hopefully you're back soon.